And now we have another gateway to the Mediterranean and a place to meet with different cultures. We have the New Alamein, and for having more connection with the countries around it in the Mediterranean, we had the simulation of Union for the Mediterranean. Yesterday we had 90 of the youth of the globe to discuss a threat that is affecting all of us, which is climate change. And the region of the Mediterranean is the most affected by it. They were trying to find a way to protect the area from the threat that is unknown, and this is to do it to help with the decision makers and to actually collaborate together to be able to reach the dream, to build the bridges of integration for a better future for the Mediterranean region that will overcome all the kind of conflicts. And we're talking today about the employment of the Mediterranean, of the youth in the Mediterranean region. And we are talking about business development in the morning, and then we moved to a debate after that, and now we have the closing remarks. And now we will show a video on the UFM. Now I would like to leave the floor for the participants that wanted to have a speech for the host country, Egypt.
عبرت من الخليج إلى
I crossed from
عبرت من الخليج إلى المحيط.
From the Gulf to the ocean, I crossed. I asked, and my questions were never answered, and stars never told me that I've strayed from you, Egypt, and I've got to learn that being late cannot be forgiven. So I came to Egypt carrying my redemption. You invited us, Egypt, and you embraced us, accommodated us. We were warmly welcomed, oh, you home that received all loving people. Our youth are capable of making change, and our space is more elaborate and broad. Our decision is at hand. Dreams are countless. Horizons are broad. And we have listening ears, open gates, hopes are requited. We were told thus. And you never stood in our way. And you always pledged for support and since that Nile, that stream is running, so our world is fine. Since this Nile stream is running, our world is fine. and we will do whatever we need. We will astray from our path. Thank you.
Thank you for these emotions, good emotions, and allow us, please, Mr. President, to start the proceeding of this session, which is the closing session.
Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, honorable member states of the UFM, and distinguished guests. Seeing as the time for suspension has elapsed, the UFM is now back in session. The co-presidency of Jordan will now yield the floor to the most honorable host country of the Arab Republic of Egypt to read the Declaration on Promotion of Business Development through Youth Employment.
Thank you, Co-Presidency. Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt. The Employment and Labor Ministers of the Union for the Mediterranean gathered at their 5th ministerial conference at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt on the 16th of December 2019. The ministerial conference builds on the UFM employment and labor ministerial conferences held in Marrakesh in 2008, in Brussels in 2010, at the Dead Sea in Jordan in 2016, as well as in Kashkish in 2019. These conferences set up and confirmed a pathway for cooperation between the member states of the UFM, aiming at private sector development and job creation. In particular, youth employment, in order to enhance the social, economic, and political conditions within the UFM region. The Declaration, affirming that young people are a crucial asset for sustainable economic growth and social development throughout the world and for the future of our societies. Conscious that governments have a primary responsibility to educate young people, to encourage them to seek training so as to increase their employability and to create an enabling environment that will promote youth employment. Recognizing further the need to promote and protect basic rights of young workers as defined by the relevant resolutions of the International Labour Organization and other international instruments. Guided by the recent data in the World Development Indicators, according to which countries with coastlines on the Mediterranean have an average unemployment rate of 12.5%. We're calling the UFM project Maharat Med as a good practice for developing youth employability and entrepreneurial skills. Recognizing the joint mechanism for the economic empowerment of young people signed between the Union of Arab Chambers and the Arab Regional Center for Training and Development of Entrepreneurs and Investment. Emphasizing the platform of Arab Youth for Sustainable Development under the League of Arab States to empower youth and widen the panel of social dialogue in the Arab region. Further recalling the Med for Jobs initiatives of the UFM to help increase the employability of young people and women, to close the gap between labor demand and supply, and to foster a culture of entrepreneurship and private sector development. The UFM Environment Ministers hereby, as regards the future of jobs, mandate the UFM Secretariat to establish the Future Rear program starting in September 2021. Future Rear will tackle the challenges of the fast-changing nature of technology and new emerging jobs. This will be based on research findings and projections in the labor market, with the aim to decrease the risk of youth not finding employment due to a lack of labor market relevant skills. This will be done through A, endorsing cross-border collaboration and stakeholder engagement to teach skills required for the future labor market, to empower and equip young people for the emerging challenges by setting up the MedSmart platform, a database providing general and specific trends required skills and abilities, and an assessment of existing and future jobs in the region. B, increasing the absorptive capacity of SMEs to incorporate the needs of the future of work by reinforcing the links between large enterprises and SMEs, including the facilitation of their R&D initiatives through financing, training, and transferring of know-how. C, establishing funding for the future, FFF, as a joint trust fund between the member states of the UFM to promote projects for youth employability. As regards sustainable livelihood opportunities, commit to promoting the online matching platform, the Jounder, with two dimensions, personal profiles and business profiles. This project shall A, allow companies to register on the platform and share their online job vacancies in UFM member states, including the required job skills. Young people from the member states of the UFM will have the opportunity to create and register their profiles in order to get them automatically matched with relevant job vacancies across the Mediterranean. B, support companies in the implementation of online trainings for young job seekers. Upon the completion of the online training, the candidates will be evaluated and their profiles will be sent to the respective companies to be assessed and processed through the company's recruitment process. C, provide the opportunity to link young people living in the UFM member states with governments and private companies, with a view to giving qualified youth an opportunity to find employment in their own countries as well as abroad. D, utilize blockchain technology in order to protect data. The Jounder platform is to be funded by UFM member states on a voluntary basis, in addition to contributions from key international funding bodies and financial partners from the private sector. As regards gender equality, endorse the provision of incentive programs to enhance employment of women, facilitated by the technical and policy-making assistance provided by the Association of Organizations of Mediterranean Businesswomen and the Euro-Mediterranean Women's Foundation. Additional financial assistance by the European Investment Bank, EIB, should be considered. As regards civil society, 1, encourage the inclusion of youth volunteers into the work of non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations to bring about higher levels of social awareness and job market preparedness. 2, decide to promote a human resource-based rural development through the creation of employment opportunities in rural areas and small villages in the Mediterranean region through streamlining microfinancing channels for rural areas. As regards artificial intelligence, task the UFM Secretariat to establish the UFM Youth Artificial Intelligence Center, YAIC, to act as a regional expert group hub which connects different stakeholders that are directly impacted by artificial intelligence, including governments, corporations, civil society, and other key stakeholders, to contribute to the bridging of the digital divide present amongst the Mediterranean youth. The first meeting will take place in New Alamein City, Egypt, in 2021, with the goal of A, overcoming the labor market mismatch by harnessing artificial intelligence technologies to unlock upskilling and reskilling capabilities. Improving youth inclusion in the regional policy-making process pertaining to ICT use by all sectors of societies. Strengthening the voice of Mediterranean youth through increasing their access to ICT infrastructure. As regards entrepreneurship, 1. Call upon the UFM Secretariat to set up the UFM Entrepreneurial Investment Integrated Hub, UFM EIIH, which will work on mobilizing all the resources that entrepreneurs and startups will need to get their business started and operating. The aim is to improve economic development indicators, generate job opportunities, and to link entrepreneurship and scientific research with companies in order to establish SMEs through specialized programs that provide support for entrepreneurs, university students, and researchers. The UFM EIIH shall be monitored closely by the UFM Secretariat in order to ensure effective liaising and communication with government bodies in the UFM region. In this regard, A, the UFM EIIH will set up UFM entrepreneurial centers, UFM ECs, in the UFM member states. The UFM ECs will I, provide services such as workspaces, including technical and technological support, workshops, and mentoring and guidance sessions in order to develop ideas and skills and state-of-the-art technologies. I, deliver advisory services in many legal, administrative, and financing matters, and establish a link with scientific research institutions. I, link entrepreneurs and startups to accelerators, which they require in order to gain access to local and international production consumption networks. B, establish UFM investment map expert groups to link entrepreneurs' ideas to developmental goals. The expert group works with UFM member states by coordinating with their relevant government bodies to study their geographical areas, the most conducive for business development and investment. C, integrate investment service centers, ISCs, to support entrepreneurs and startups in the area of access to funding and electronic services. I, in partnership with public and private funders, the ISCs will help to extend loans at discounted rates for entrepreneurs who complete training programs on financial and capital management, market research and operation management, in which prove good understanding of company corporation procedures and the process of loan delivery. Increased partnership with the banking sector shall facilitate the acquisition of business licenses. Loans in the form of assets shall be encouraged in order to control corruption and ensure that the acquired loan is used for the stated purpose. I, in order to facilitate and simplify investment procedures, the UFM EIIH will introduce Premier Service and Digital Transformation Systems, e-system, which work on the electronic incorporation of companies, collection and payment of services, and e-signatures that must be in coordination with different governmental bodies in the region. 2, task the UFM Secretariat to develop a Youth Financing Manual, YFM, supported by the UFM Secretariat and 6 external experts, which promotes the growth and the expansion of startups and ongoing businesses. Through the cooperation with private and public sources, the YFM will provide recommendations and guidelines for young entrepreneurs and startups. 3, mandate the UFM Secretariat to establish the UFM Committee on Youth Employability, UFM CYE, under the mandate of the Med for Jobs program, which shall comprise of volunteering member states on an annual basis. The committee will focus on 3 initiatives: labor market anticipation, labor force integration, and youth qualifying programs. As regards to digitalization, call for an expert research group, ERG, which provides technical support to UFM member states in a time of increasing digitalization. The ERG will A, draft a roadmap for the implementation of e-governance processes. B, monitor the progress of digitalization in the UFM member states. C, support willing UFM member states in testing e-governance measures within selected ministries. Finally, ministers would like to express deep gratitude to the government of Egypt for its warm hospitality and to the UFM Secretariat for helping to convene this meeting. Thank you, member states of the UFM. Thank you, co-presidency.
Thank you, most honorable delegate of the Arab Republic of Egypt, honorable members of the UFM. Having read the draft declaration, we shall now proceed with the endorsement process. Honorable member states, please bear in mind that this endorsement process requires complete consensus. Honorable delegates, all those voting for the draft declaration on promoting business development through youth employment, please raise your hand high and keep them high. All those against? Thank you, honorable delegates. Honorable delegates, with 43 votes for, 0 votes against, this draft declaration becomes Sharm el-Sheikh's declaration. Applause is now in order.
Like this, we end the proceedings, and we thank the President, Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, for honoring us by his visit today. Allow me, please, to thank all of you for all the proposed ideas and the remarks that has been endorsed, and the vision and the ability of collaborative work against all the challenges and all that has been endorsed. Allow me, please, I'm not going to take long. I know that you have exerted a lot of effort in the last few days, but in Egypt we exert effort, a lot of effort, in digitization, and also in the support of the SMEs, and also through what you have discussed, which is the environment. And we are having a great map for dealing with the salt marshes overlooking the Mediterranean, and we are doing a lot of work there. But I would like to I wanted to just show all the Egyptian efforts without any support. So we are dealing with 250,000 acres of land which are salt marshes, and we are changing all what happened from carelessness that has been there in this area, and we are getting it properly in an environmental new phase. And I wanted really, or I was wishing to actually review this. And I would like, I wish also another proposal, which is that we are building the new Alamein city, and this is 2020. We will implement that, but we wanted it to be a Euro-Mediterranean area for science. Are you taking this in consideration, or you are going to take it in consideration in the framework that it is, or in the frame of the conference? We would like to have it as part of the remarks, and I would like to thank you once more for all the remarks and recommendations that has been proposed by the youth. And I'm really glad because of this declaration, and wishing you all the best, and thank you very much.